invite you all to close your eyes for a moment. Picture a child that you love. See their smiles, their dreams, their limitless potential. Now imagine a world where their future is decided by a machine that cannot see them, cannot value them. It cannot even recognize their humanity. You can open your eyes now. This is not science fiction or one of Octavia Butler's novels. This is happening right now. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is molding our lives. It is making lightning-fast decisions, creating new possibilities, while quietly closing doors it determined that you did not need. But what if you needed those doors? What if they led to the only accessible grocery store? Or to the only doctor that speaks your family's language? Or to the key to the long-awaited home loan? Those doors were not built into AI's programming. MIT gender shade study found that facial recognition technology fails to identify certain groups up to 35% more often than others. That is not a flaw. That is erasure. And when AI erases people, society erases them too. But what if I told you that AI, when designed ethically, could be a tool for justice, for opportunity and equity, that it can help to close gaps, unlock innovation, and level historically uneven playing fields? The problem? Its designers are not in this room. The 2022 McKinsey study on the state of AI found that only 25% of AI engineers identify as a minority, and 22% identify as a woman. And that doesn't even account for the other identities and intersectionality. And those numbers are continuing to drop, and most organizations do not have a strategy to change this. This is more than a flaw. This is structural erasure. We need change because AI is more than just technology, it is power. It decides who gets hired, who gets a loan, and what news we see, and it is not neutral. Think about that child from earlier. They grew up right here in Roxbury, navigating systems molded by algorithms. When they tried to apply for a loan, an AI labeled them high risk. When they tried to apply for a job, AI filtered out their resume. When they tried to promote their business online, an algorithm decided whether it would be seen or silenced. And they're not alone. From Boston to Bangalore, AI is molding our lives with real consequences. Bias in AI, it begins with us. Our brains are processing millions of neural signals every day, relying on mental shortcuts called implicit bias. And AI is trained on massive data sets full of human behavior. It learns those same patterns and scales them. Now imagine that same dynamic inside of hiring software, medical diagnostics, or criminal justice tools. AI has no morals, it's only code. And if trained on inequity, it then will reproduce it. From digital redlining in Nigeria, to biased facial recognition technology in India, to over-policing in Brazil. History has already taught us what happens when our communities are left out of the narrative of the Industrial Revolution. We have been the inventors, the creators, the innovators, and often watch others reap the benefits of our labor. we have seen our stories erased, innovations forgotten, and knowledge dismissed. If we do not mold this next tech revolution, we risk being molded by it. So how do we take back control? Here are 3 levers. So the first lever is that we demand ethical AI. Ethical AI is not about fixing bias. It's about building technology that works for everyone. Ethical AI is fit. It is fair, inclusive, and transparent. Fair, actively working to eliminate discrimination through oversight and responsibility. Inclusive, developed by diverse voices and communities. Transparent, we know how it makes decisions. It needs to be fit so that it can be held accountable. And building AI without diverse input is like trying to DJ with a single album. Yeah, you might have a couple classics, but you're gonna miss the essence of the crowd. And we need that mix. We need a little bit of hip hop and rock and soul. We need a mix of soca and calypso and reggaeton. Just like our communities. It's all about variety. The second lever is that we use AI to advance social mobility. Social mobility is about breaking through systemic barriers to move up the economic ladder. AI can either widen the opportunity gap or help to close it, but it depends on who controls the technology. McKinsey predicts that AI can widen the wealth gap by $43 billion, while the World Economic Forum estimates that AI-driven automation will displace 85 million jobs, but create 97 million new ones. That's 14% more jobs than it will displace, and 12 million net new jobs globally. So the real question is, who will be ready to fill those jobs? If we do not act, we risk missing out on the future of work, the future of wealth, and the future of leadership. Right now, AI innovation is happening in Silicon Valley, in Beijing, and in London, and even on the continent of Africa. But why not here? Why not our communities? And so we need 3 things. We need AI education in our schools. We need funding for tech founders in our communities. And we need policies that put people over profit. And don't let anyone tell you that it is too hard. Our communities are already juggling complexities every day. Think about your aunt. She's raising 5 kids, she has 3 side hustles, she's running the Bible study and the family group chat. She can handle machine learning. And if we don't build our own AI-driven businesses, we will always be the consumers and never the creators. The third lever is that we build agentic AI that works for us and keeps humans in the loop. We need AI that functions, and we need AI that empowers. Agentic AI refers to systems that operate with degrees of autonomy. They can make decisions, they can take action, and they can adapt based on their environment or goals. But if we don't define those goals, they will be defined for us. And letting AI run wild is like having your nephew cook Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, it might be food, but it's microwave mac and cheese, and it's not feeding anyone's soul. And we need real ingredients. We need real voices. We need real community flavor. And so we must build AI that centers on human values and keeps humans in the loop. And not just at the beginning, but throughout its life cycle. Humans in the loop means that you don't just set AI in motion and hope for the best like a robot vacuum. It means that there's a human actively training, monitoring, and correcting AI decisions, especially when they impact real lives. Only a human can understand context and compassion and ethical judgment. A machine might process data, but it cannot understand dignity. It can recognize patterns, but it cannot reflect on injustice. I began my career wanting to be a human rights lawyer, and I was inspired and motivated to hear all these stories and to help all people. And so for more than a decade, I have designed and implemented diversity, equity, and inclusion strategies. And I have used my systems thinking and data analytics expertise, and I've helped organizations identify bias and redesign systems. And I've seen how sometimes technology can disempower communities. But when molded with purpose, I have seen AI empower real-world change. The problem is that AI learns from data, and data is tainted with the biases of the past. So if we don't ensure that AI development is inclusive and ethical, we risk discrimination in every area from hiring to healthcare. I am committed to ensuring that AI development is for us and for future generations. Because when AI erases people, society erases them too. Just like the libraries of Alexandria, or communities buried under lakes, or burned to the ground. We must be the architects, the regulators, and the conscious of AI. And if AI is the future, then equity must be at its core. Let's teach our children not just to use AI, but to question it, and to build it, and to lead it. And let us have responsible innovation that has voices of Roxbury and Sao Paulo and Accra. And let us commit to a digital world rooted in justice. Because we're not just molding technology, we are molding history. The next tech icon is not in Silicon Valley. They're in this room. And so I ask you again to think about that child that you love. Do you want their future decided by a machine that does not see them? Or do you want them to build that machine? Raise your hand if you're ready to fight for that future. And if you're ready to start today, then let us get to work. Because AI is already molding our lives. The only question is, will we mold it or let it mold us? The choice is ours to make.